Welcome to my oral presentation on my focal company, Tyson Foods. My name is Diego Olvera, and let's get started. Tyson Foods Inc. is headquartered in Springdale, Arkansas, here in the United States. Its current CEO and president is Donnie D. King. Its stock symbol is TSN, and its stock exchange market is the NYSE. The closing stock price as of November 14th was $54.45. I was actually fortunate enough to visit the headquarters and provided as a photo. Tyson was founded in 1935 by John W. Tyson. It grew exponentially in World War II because poultry was not rationed during that time. The company incorporated in 1947 and it focused on selling baby chicks, feed, and the transportation of chickens to market. In 1950, John W. Tyson's son, Donald J. Tyson, joins the business. This is very important because he starts the first processing plant and vertically integrates the business. In 2001, Tyson acquires IBP Inc., which expands Tyson's production mix into beef and pork. This deal was done with cash and stock, where Tyson also assumed all the debt that IBP had. In 2014, there was a merger with Hillshire Brands. It was an all-cash deal that cost $8.55 billion. But this was huge for Tyson because it brought in prepared foods such as Jimmy Dean, Ballpark, Hillshire Brand, and State Fair. As of recently, in 2019, there was an international acquisition of BRF SA operations. This expanded Tyson's operations to Thailand and Europe. And recently, it has launched its Raised and Rooted brand, which is a meat alternative brand of Tyson. Tyson's industry is primarily in protein processing. This is both in meat and prepared foods. Its major competitors on the international side is JBS SA, which is meat processing company, and BRF SA, which focuses on poultry, pork, and processed foods. On the domestic side, its main competitors is Pilgrim Pride Corporation, which is a poultry processor, and Hormel Foods Corporation, which is prepared foods. On the bottom right, I have created a 5-year revenue comparison against its biggest international and domestic rival. As you can see, Pilgrim's Pride's revenue grows on average 8.1% every year, while JBS grows 8.3% on average every year. Tyson Foods has fallen behind with an average growth rate of 4.8% a year. Tyson must switch up its corporate strategy to stay competitive and at least double its growth percentage per year in order to match its competitors. Tyson's mission is to bring high-quality food to every table in the world, safely, sustainably, and affordably, now and for future generations. Its vision is to be the world's first choice for protein solutions by reimagining the journey of food from farm to table through innovation, sustainability, and transparency. Tyson's value statement is, "We are a company of people engaged in production of food, seeking to pursue truth and integrity, and committed to creating values for our shareholders, our customers, our team members, and our communities." And its brand promise is to feed the world like family. Tyson has two corporate level strategies. One is cost leadership. It does so by using vertical integration, eliminating inefficiencies, and improving productivity. And it also uses differentiation. It does so by being invested in value added and prepared foods and multiple protein lines, including chicken, beef, pork, and prepared foods. It also serves a variety of channels, including retail, food service, and industrial customers. It also has a global presence, so it's not reliable on just one market. Some of the businesses in Tyson's portfolio include Tyson, Jimmy Dean, Hillshire Farm, Ballpark, Wright, and Adels. Next, we'll analyze the company's external environment by doing a Porter's 5 forces analysis. First is threat and new entrants. Barriers to entry are high and require large-scale capital investments, but this has not deterred companies, as we've seen Costco enter the market in 2019 with a processing plant, chicken farms, and hatchery. There's also regulatory requirements, so the threat of new large-scale rivals are relatively low. Its bargaining power of suppliers, because Tyson is vertically integrated and purchases stuff in large-scale quantities, is relatively low. The bargaining power of buyers is significant because there's a large amount of retailers and proteins options, and even more now with plant-based options. The threat of substitutes is increasing due to plant-based meats, and its rising consumer interest as consumers are more health and environmentally conscious. And its competitive rivalry is fierce, especially on the global stage. Price competition is intense and consolidation is not rare. A recent example is Wayne Sanderson, who, after consolidating Wayne Farms and Sanderson Farms, became the third biggest poultry company in the U.S. Competition is very strong. Next, I analyzed Tyson's internal environment by doing a visual process that determines the most significant strategic conclusions. Tyson's first most significant strategy is vertical integration. Tyson continues to control critical parts of its supply chain, from the feed processors to distribution channels. This enables them to manage costs, ensure quality, and respond quickly to supply and demand changes. Tyson also has long-standing buyer relationships. Tyson's relationships with major buyers such as Walmart, Kroger, and McDonald's are difficult to replicate. And lastly, Tyson has great scale and production capacity. Although it's not rare, it is done very well by Tyson. Tyson's scale and operational capacity position is a strong factor for its cost leadership, and it also sustains productivity and efficiency through ongoing modernization and automation. And for Tyson's summary analysis, I found that its strengths is its vertical integration, diverse protein portfolio, and strong relationships with key buyers. Its weaknesses is a heavy dependence on meat protein sales. It doesn't have a lot of plant-based proteins in the market, and environmental and ethical scrutiny. They have been scrutinized for its animal welfare and worker conditions, but they definitely have opportunities. For example, they can promote ethical and sustainable branding. This is because there is a growing customer demand for responsibly sourced and low-carbon protein supplies. They can also advance in the food tech automation. This will increase efficiency and reduce cost. They can also do partnerships with alternative protein companies. This will be to accelerate the innovation of alternative proteins. And lastly, threats. The global competition is aggressively diversified and globally distributed, and there is a growing demand for plant-based meat alternatives. Newcomers in the market are shifting customer choices. And finally, my conclusions and recommendations. I recommend that Tyson invest heavily in alternative proteins. They can build on the Raised and Rooted brand. They can also seek partnerships or acquisitions. This will reduce the substitution risk and appeal to the younger, more health-conscious consumers. I also recommend that they accelerate global market expansion, specifically in global regions where protein demand is rising. I also recommend they enter the global market using joint ventures over acquisitions to reduce risk. This will help Tyson better compete with global competition. And lastly, my final recommendation is that they prioritize sustainability and transparency. This can work as a strong brand differentiator, and it will show consumers that they don't just do it for compliance, but they go above and beyond. They can also make it part of their new brand promise, such as reducing emissions, improving working conditions, and promoting animal welfare. Thank you so much for hearing about my focal company, and provided are my references.